ادع إلى سبيل ربك بالحكمة والموعظة الحسنة وجادلهم بالتي هي أحسن.
بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. My dear brothers and sisters, inshallah, this is part 3 about Hajj. I will go in order, inshallah, so you can understand it in a simple way. When you go from your country, okay, to the Hajj, either you go through, Jeddah straight to Mecca, or if you go from Medina or any other miqat from your country. So when we talk about the miqat, it depends where you're coming from, okay? So, and it's known over there, everyone knows where the miqat, and they direct you to the miqat. But you do not pass the miqat without the ihram. Now, you go past the miqat. At the miqat, you change your clothing and you put the ihram for the man. You come out from all the clothes that he's wearing, all the underwears and everything. You only put these two garments on you. Okay, that's for the man. For the woman, no, she will stay in her clothes. Make sure it's baggy, no see-through, nothing. Okay, but no gloves, no covering the face unless if there are strange men are there. You can cover the face until they pass, and you uncover the face. Now you start from the miqat. From the miqat you say labbaik Allahumma umrah if you're doing umrah, labbaik Allahumma hajj if you're doing hajj. But we're doing hajj tamattu, starting with umrah. You say labbaik Allahumma umrah wa in habasani habis famahilli haythu habastani. In case anything happened on the way you come out from the state of ihram with no penalty. Now once you become into the status of ihram by saying the talbiyah, then you say labbaik Allahumma labbaik until you get to the Kaaba. Yani the talbiyah all the way until you get to the Kaaba. As soon as you get to the Kaaba, you want to start the tawaf, you stop the talbiyah and then you start the takbir, you make dua to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and so on. Now, the best dua that you can say around the tawaf, you say لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له له الحمد وله الملك وهو على كل شيء قدير. That's the best dua that you can say, praising Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then you can do you can do a dua for yourself, as I mentioned in the second part. You do dua for yourself, but before you make the dua, you praise Allah, you praise the Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, you make dua to yourself, you make dua to your family, to your friend, to the ummah, okay, and to all Muslims from the time of Adam until the last hour. Then you praise Allah Azza wa Jal and you praise the Nabi Alayhi Salatu Wasalam. Once you're doing the tawaf, you start from the Hajar al-Aswad. If you can kiss it, do it, but it's not an obligation, it's sunnah. In other words, do not hurt yourself or hurt the Muslims to push your way in, okay, to kiss the Hajar al-Aswad. Don't do that. You can raise your hand from far, okay, and you do the tawaf. You say, Bismillah Allahu Akbar, you start the tawaf. Once you start the tawaf and you go around before the corner, okay, before the black stone corner, they call it الركن اليماني. You start from there doing saying ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. Until you come to the black stone, you raise your hand again. You can just say Allahu Akbar. You keep going, because the first time you start, you say Bismillah Allahu Akbar. The second time you should say Allahu Akbar and you continue, okay? So starting from Hajar Aswad to Hajar Aswad, that's one, and you count 7 times until you come to Hajar Aswad. Then you move behind Maqam Ibrahim. You pray 2 rak'at, okay? These 2 rak'at with the intention of the tawaf. Okay, so these 2 rak'at, the first rak'ah after Surah Al-Fatiha, قُلْ يَا أَيُّهَا الْكَافِرُونَ, the second rak'ah after Surah Al-Fatiha, قُلْ هُوَ اللَّهُ أَحَدٌ. Then you go and drink Zamzam water. Drink as much as you can. Wash yourself with it, is not a problem. Okay, it's preferable. Once you drink, then you go to the Safa. At the Safa, you start in the Safa. If you look up in the dome they have on the top of, the mountain, they're written the verse, like there, if you don't memorize the verse, إن الصفا والمروة من شعائر الله فمن حج البيت أو اعتمر فلا جناح عليه أن يطوف بهما. The verse is written right there. You can recite the verse inshallah and say it, and then you make dua, okay, at the Safa, and then you start you sa'i. When you get to the Marwa, you can make the dua there. You don't need to say the verse there, but you can make dua there. When you make dua, make sure you face the Qibla, yeah? You make the dua there, and you can, as when you get there, you can say Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. You make whatever dua, okay? Whatever you know, whatever you memorize, whatever you can say. Remember, the dua is between you and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It doesn't have to be in a group, okay? Everyone for himself when you make the dua. When you finish, you go back to the Safa. So from Safa to Marwa, that's one shot. From Marwa to Safa, that's another shot. Safa to Marwa, one shot. From Marwa to Safa, another. So you start at Safa, you end up in Marwa. You finish, you cut your hair. Once you cut your hair, you come out from the ihram. That's the Umrah is done. On night of the Hijjah, you put the ihram back on from your hotel, from your premises, from the property you at, okay? And then when you get to your ride, the bus or whatever you're taking to take you to Arafat, to Mina, this is where you start the talbiyah again to go into the state of ihram of al-hajj when you say labbaik Allahumma hajj, okay? And you can do the condition same thing. فإن حبسني حابس فمحلي حيث حبستني. Now you go, okay, to Mina. You stay in Mina from Dhuhr, Asr, Maghrib, Isha, and Fajr, the day of Arafat. After Fajr, from day of Arafat, you go to Arafat. Now Arafat starts from Dhuhr until Maghrib. You pray at Mina, each prayer, okay, on time, but you shorten the 4 into 2. And when you get to Arafat, you join Dhuhr and Asr, and you pray 2 by 2. And at Muzdalifah, you join Maghrib and Isha. So when you go to Mina until Fajr, you move to Arafat. You can stay there, rest until Dhuhr time, because the time of Hajj of Arafat starts from Dhuhr, okay? When the Dhuhr time is on, then the Arafat time starts. So you pray and then you make dua, inshallah. Try your best to take a corner where nobody can see you looking at you, whatever, so you can concentrate more and you can have more khushu', okay? And try your best to mention Allah as much as you can to the stage where you start feeling your heart is melting, okay? Your heart is, full of humbleness. Then when you start making dua, don't make dua before your heart is present, okay? Make sure you praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala first. So at Arafat, make dua as much as you can until Maghrib time, okay? Don't waste your time sleeping or eating or drinking. If you want to drink, just take a few sips, okay? If you want to eat, just eat a little bit so you don't get tired and you don't want to waste your time going to the toilet all the time, okay? Because the more water you drink, the more you need to get to the toilet. Try your best only to take a few sips to stay, strong and fit, so you can make the dua, inshallah, throughout the day. Maghrib time, the dua is finished, then you go to Muzdalifah. You pray Maghrib and Isha in Muzdalifah and you sleep up to Fajr. As we said, you can leave midnight, is not a problem, but preferably Fajr. From Fajr, then after Fajr, you pray Fajr, then you move to the Jamarat. You do the stoning, 7 stones the first day, that's the Eid day. Then you can either cut your hair, go back to Mina, or because you can delay tawaf for later on, it's not a problem. Or you do the stoning and you go to Mecca. You do the tawaf, then you cut your hair, you come out from the state of ihram, and you go back to Mina. You stay in Mina for 2 or 3 days, preferably 3 days, but you can stay for 2 days. All what you do in this time, praying on time, eating and drinking, and mentioning Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And when you finish from Mina, you go back to the hotels or whatever, nothing else to do. But before you leave Makkah to go back home, what do you need to do? You go do tawaf al-wada'. They call it tawaf al-wada', yani farewell tawaf. You go, you make the tawaf, you come, take your luggage, and off you go. Do not, after the tawaf al-wada', to go any shopping or doing anything or spend another day or another night. You can't. If you do that, you need to do the tawaf al-wada' once again, okay? Now for the sisters, who they have their menses for tawaf al-wada', ask the sheikh with you, inshallah, what you need to do. But most likely, if they need to leave and they cannot wait for you, you can miss out that tawaf al-wada'. You can miss it because it's not part of the hajj, okay? But tawaf al-ifada, Tawaf al-Ifada, which is the Hajj Tawaf or the Umrah Tawaf, there is a way, okay, to do it. We don't want to go through it much because not many people they have it, because most of the time they have enough time. If you come across this, inshallah, ask the Sheikh in your group and they will guide you to what to do, inshallah. We ask Allah to help us all, inshallah, and we ask Allah to grant you Hajj Mabrur bi-idhnillah. Wa akhir da'wana alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen wa salli Allahumma ala Muhammadin wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in.
إن صلاتي ونسكي ومحياي ومماتي لله رب العالمين